Thank you. Thank you, Chairman Blunt. Thank you, Secretary DeVos, for joining us today. It's now 16 months since you were confirmed by an unprecedented tie-breaking vote as Secretary of Education, and you were confirmed despite millions of students and parents and teachers around the country who spoke up in opposition to your extreme ideological commitment to privatizing public education and who were concerned about your lack of experience in educating or in advocating for our public schools. Unfortunately, instead of taking those concerns to heart, you've doubled down on your harmful agenda and filled your department with for-profit college executives and lobbyists looking out for their former employers and clients. And that couldn't be clearer when looking at your actions over the past year and the budget that you're here to defend today. Secretary DeVos, since you were confirmed, we have seen a barrage of actions out of the department that hurt both students and taxpayers. You continue to prioritize your extreme privatization agenda, which would siphon taxpayer dollars away from public schools. You're ignoring the parts of our nation's K-12 law, the Every Student Succeeds Act, that helps ensure equity in our schools. You've made it easier for predatory for-profit colleges and student loan companies to take advantage of our students by rolling back a number of consumer protections and effectively dismantling the unit that actually investigates claims of fraud and abuse. And you've taken a number of extremely concerning steps to undermine civil rights protections for our students, including attempting to scale back the Office of Civil Rights, rescinding guidance protecting transgender students, making it easier for schools to once again sweep sexual assault under the rug, saying it's a local decision to call ICE on undocumented students, and so much more. So let me turn to the budget you're proposing for next year, and I'm really disappointed how similar this budget looks to what you proposed last year and which this committee soundly rejected. After years of budgets for education not keeping up with our needs, we are now seeing teachers and parents around the country organizing and standing up for public education because our kids shouldn't be forced to learn in crumbling classrooms with shabby textbooks, and our teachers should be paid fairly for the important work they do. And yet with this budget, once again, you're ignoring what millions of parents and teachers and students are asking for. And you've instead proposed more than $4 billion in cuts to elementary and secondary education. I don't have time to name them all, but your budget would eliminate programs that help teachers grow and improve their teaching skills, grants that support before and after school programs, and investments that support low-income undergraduates. And this budget is another example of an empty promise made by this administration to address the senseless gun violence devastating our families and our schools and our communities around the country. President Trump has continued to give in to the demands of the NRA. Your Gun Safety Commission has yet to take any real action steps, and now your budget would eliminate grants that are used to improve student safety for the second year in a row. After the tragic Parkland shooting, you said Congress should hold hearings on gun and school safety. So in a show of good faith, I urge you to commit to testify in front of the HELP Committee on what meaningful gun safety reform we can enact to help end this scourge of violence in our schools. Finally, while your discretionary budget cuts $7.7 billion in federal investments in education, you are proposing a $1 billion for programs that align with your personal agenda but are not authorized by the bipartisan Every Student Succeeds Act. A little more than 2 months ago, Congress rejected virtually the same proposals in the bipartisan spending bill. So, Secretary DeVos, I have many questions for you this morning on why you once again put forth a budget that will hurt our students and families, and I look forward to your responses this morning. Thank you.